Welcome to part 2 of the sewing tutorial for the Eddie Smock. We're going to start by adding the darts to the side panels. If you haven't already transferred your markings to the side panels, now is the time to do so. Once you've done that, you're going to fold down the top edge along the dart point, which is the mark along the straight edge of the side panel. You're going to make sure that your dart legs match once folded on the dart point. And then you will connect the 2 points and pin in place. Once that is done, you will sew along that line to create your dart. Once the dart is sewn, you will press the top of the side panel and the dart up and away from the lower portion of the side panel. Now we are going to attach the side panels to the front and the back panels. The first thing you'll want to do is finish the straight edges of the side panels and the front and the back panels. And then you will attach the straight edges together, pin them in place along the straight edge all the way down. Once you have it pinned in place, you will measure from the top shoulder down to the waist point, which is 16.5 inches, or you can adjust the height if you need to. And then from that point, you will measure an additional 1/2 inch. Then you will sew from the shoulder point down to the first top edge, top marking, making sure to back tack. And then from the second marking, all the way down to the bottom, again making sure to back tack at the opening. You will then press the seam open. Once pressed open, you will see the opening for the side tie. Next, you will top stitch down each seam allowance individually to each side of the seam. You will repeat this process for the other front panel and for both sides of the back panel. Once the top stitching is complete, you can bar tack the top and the bottom of the side tie opening to provide extra stability. To attach the underarm gussets to the sleeves, first begin by matching the notch along the underarm gusset to the notch on the sleeve, and match right sides together. Pin in place and repeat for all sleeves and underarm gusset pieces. Once pinned in place, then you can sew along just the section of the underarm gusset. You will repeat this for all of the sleeves. After you've sewn the seam, then you will finish just that section with either a zigzag stitch or your serger, and then press the underarm gusset away from the sleeve. To attach the sleeves to the front panel, first you will begin by taking the wearer's right sleeve and attaching it right sides together to the wearer's right front panel. You're going to match up the angled side seam and pin in place. Then you will sew the sleeve to the front panel. Once the seam is finished, you will finish the seam with a zigzag stitch or with your serger. Once the sleeve is completely attached, you will press the sleeve away from the main panel. You will then repeat this process with the remaining front panel and with the back panel. To attach the front body to the back body, you're going to begin by taking the front body piece and aligning the shoulder edge to the back body with right sides together. You will match the side seam and the shoulder seams together and pin in place. Once the pieces have been pinned together, you will sew along the shoulder and sleeve edge. You want to make sure that your side seams and your shoulder seams are lined up. If you need to make any adjustments at this point, do so before you finish your seams. So finish your seams with an overlocker or a zigzag stitch, and then we will work on the side seam. You will begin by matching the seams of the underarm gussets and pinning those in place. You'll then pin down the sleeves and then down the edge of the side panels, making sure not to stretch out your angled edge there. Once your side seam has been pinned, then you can sew your side seams together, beginning at the sleeve hem edge and working your way down to the hem of the garment. When you get to the underarm gusset, you pivot slightly so that you can continue along the side seam. Once your seam is complete, finish the seam allowance with a serger or a zigzag stitch and repeat with the remaining side.